Hello and welcome. I was prompted to do a reading this morning, and I was just playing around with a few decks that I don't use often. I was breaking them out for the Halloween season. These touch on some darker aspects of life, and I left them out because there's a strong message here. I have a lot more as well. I've been up since 5:30 a.m. again this morning. A lot of information, a lot of channeling has come through that I'll share with you guys. But I wanted to share this reading with you, and I don't know if you can see it all the way, but I'm reading from the Dark Goddess Tarot and from the Wisdom of the House of the Night Oracle. And what this message is telling me, I asked about the collective energy because it has shifted tremendously overnight. And I felt it. I did wake up in the middle of the night soaking wet in sweat. And it's freezing cold in my house because I still have no heat yet. But a lot of energy running through me and a lot of messages coming through me. And I felt this instant shift in karma. A lot of the collective is starting to get it, realize that whatever it is they've been doing or dealing with isn't for them anymore, and the realization of patterns and things. So I'm going to the first card out was Justice. Justice, something is bringing balance to a situation, and then we have Liberation. So many in the collective have decided that they are going to liberate themselves from a situation. The Moon, liberate themselves from what they could not see, the subconscious patterns that have played out for lifetimes after lifetimes. It's made conscious, finally. Next card, the Hierophant. This is the lessons that we learn when we awaken to new truths within us, when they are finally understood, recognized for the experience and the wisdom that we hold inside that is meant to propel us forward. All major arcana, by the way. Justice, well, not Liberation, but Justice, the Moon, Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune. Can't make it up. I'm going to do a separate reading so you can see me shuffle cards. Wheel of Fortune, cycle is shifting. Now we are in eclipse season. This is a huge, huge shift, but a lot of people get the pre-energy. We're in the energy now. So these are deep self-realizations, self-understandings, and then understanding of the outside situation. And Six of Fire, coming together, using our resources to help each other, help one another, and to move forward in a new way, in a new light. And at the bottom of this deck, 10 of Fire, that's overall energy for this spread, for the collective, has had enough of the conflict, the defeat, the tests, the challenges. I get it. I see it, universe, and I'm making a shift. This is similar to a tower, but very electric, very intensified energy. Through the Oracle, beautiful message, we have success. When this shift is energetically made and then emotionally, mentally, physically, we pick up on it and we make the actual changes that our soul is urging us to, it's success. This is success. This change will be great success. Listening, another part of the channeling I'm going to share with everybody. Listening is key. It's a lot of people are going to be having conversations, and some hard conversations with one another. Listening is key. You don't need to be right. Listen to what is being said. Feel what's being said before you react or even respond. Don't think about what you're going to say. Just listen, and then you'll know what to add to the conversation for yourself. Very important energy. And then the other two came out together. We have, this is an interesting duality. We have individuality and differences. So respecting each other's unique individuality and the fact that we are all different, yet we all are the same in many ways as well. That's what makes the world go round. That's what makes the world a beautiful thing. If we were all the same, it would be very boring. So this deep understanding of how we are unique individuals, and there are a lot of differences. Also, whatever people are liberating themselves from, the differences between their unique individuality are just too much. There is no resolve there. There must be new movement in a new direction. So I wanted to, in the bottom of this oracle deck was the warrior. That warrior spirit, that Aries energy from the moon, that warrior spirit is pioneering, it's pulling people forward. I just had to share this reading with everybody, but I'll get into what messages I received. I was in deep meditation this morning, since I've been up since 5:30 in the morning, and conversing with the guides. I did receive some messages and I wrote them down, just scribbled them down, but I wanted to touch base on them because I feel like a lot of people are experiencing these things right now. So what we're experiencing through all of this eclipse energy, which is riding into November as well. The first thing that came up and was revealed to me, because I was asking about certain things in my life and what I was holding on to energetically that wasn't allowing me to shift forward. The wounding, the separation that we all experience here on earth, knowing that in our heart, in our soul, we are created to connect to each other. We are, there's always a deep need to be connected to others. And I think that separation wound, there's also a deep fear. We all experience separation when we're born into the earth. When we come out of the mother's womb, we are separated physically from our mother's womb. That's the first separation wound. And then going on, depending on your childhood and experiences, we experience these massive experiences of separation where as adults, we may not see it as being traumatic for a child or something that would cause patterns and habits within their development, but it truly does. So this separation wounding is definitely one of the reasons why I had developed certain patterns, certain coping mechanisms throughout my lifetime to ease that pain of separation. But just know that we are all moving as a group. We have been since around June of 2019. There was a giant collective that had a mass awakening, and we may be scattered all over the globe. However, we are moving forward as a group. This separation wounding is one of the last keys of something that we need to take a deeper look at and assist in shedding that, knowing that we're not alone here. And a lot of us have spent a lot of time alone for a purpose also to really reconnect to ourselves and our spirituality and get a deeper understanding. Now we get deeper understandings of our patterns and habits within connection to other people, but we can also observe, and we have been observing ourselves in isolation or alone as well throughout the years. The other message that came through very strongly that ties in with that is there is a catch up. So I know that in my last few readings, the waiting game card keeps coming out over and over and over again. This is one of the deeper messages about the waiting game, is that a lot of us ascend, we expand and elevate in our consciousness to a certain degree, but then when we realize we're not relating to those that we actually do want to be connected to, we kind of put a halt on our expansion and elevation because there's that separation fear and that wounding. And so a lot of us kind of stay stuck waiting for others to catch up. That's and realizing that's not working. So the message was to continue to allow your own expansion and growth. As you expand, those that are truly connected to you, and if you have a desire to stay connected to them, not within like attachment or codependency, but truly your heart and soul has this desire to reconnect with them, and they as well, most likely they will, and they will catch up. But when you put a halt, when you slow down or stop your expansion to wait for others, that puts a hold on everybody. So do not give up your expansion, your growth, your ascension, your awakening, waiting for others. They will catch up. This was a very deep, strong message that came through to me this morning, and I wanted to share that. I have experienced this in real life multiple times. So I am also here to confirm that to you. But I do want to stress that it's not always everybody. So this is something that you have to find resonance with in your heart, and not from the pain and agony of being separated from people. That's something you want to take a deeper look into. The next thing, especially through this weekend, but the next week or so, this is going to be another strong energy. There's some conflicting energy that may come in for some. Be mindful of your need to be right. There will be incoming communications for many that for resolve or to have a deeper understanding as to why there had been conflict in the past to begin with. This is where the listening is key. Listen to each other, listen to the other person, and the need to be right is going to be so strong with this Mars energy. I just want to stress this a lot. The eclipses are really going to trigger this need to be right as well. So watch yourself, pay attention to your patterns and habits of that needing to be right. And that has come up in many of the readings lately too, because that will be a trigger for many. And I've experienced that one myself too. Very, very, I am watching and witnessing my entire journey in awe and wonder as well, because it's amazing how, like, if our mind thinks something's going to go one way, sometimes it will because we're so fixated on that. But if you just let go of having to know the outcome, let go of all of that, and let the universe bring the next situation to you that you are to experience for our growth, our learning, our self-understanding, as well as reconnecting and or finding resolve within conflicts. They wanted me to remind everybody that we are always being watched by the guides, by the universe, by Saturn, there are other energies. We are being witnessed and watched as well. Puzzle pieces are coming together for us now. Bigger puzzle pieces. This is where the clarity, that's where that reading actually came from, which was quite a beautiful display of all the messages I received this morning. The puzzle pieces are coming together now. There's a deeper awareness of our soul path, of why things have happened the way they happened, a deeper self-understanding and self-awareness within people now. Signs are very strong. You cannot deny the signs and the synchronicities going on right now for many. It's just like you have your head stuck in the sand if you're not picking up on the signs and synchronicities now. We are moving out of darker aspects of ourselves right now and our lives. We are starting to see the light in many situations currently. So that's what I wanted to share with everybody as far as what came through this morning in my meditation session. And we're not going to pull from the dark energy currently. We're going to pull from the Psychic Tarot. Current collective energy in this shift that I'm picking up very strongly, very strong shift. We've had a lot of solar flares, CMEs. We've had a lot of solar weather. Let's just say that. I did post something on Facebook last night because I was laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and suddenly my heart rate started to go up tremendously, and I had all of this racing energy flying through me for about an hour. And then I turned my phone back on, because I turn it off when I go to sleep at night. I don't need any other artificial energy swirling around me while I'm trying to sleep. I turned my phone back on to look at my app. I checked the Schumann resonance, first of all, and that had been pretty calm. I noticed, though, yesterday, earlier on, or maybe the night before, there had been a blackout period. So when we got zapped, we got hit with something. So that's interesting. And then the sun activity started to really pick up. And it was picking up at that time where my heart was racing. And I'm extremely energetic. I have a lot of physical things that pop up when energy shifts. So that's why I point out a lot of the sensations and body functions that I experience when we have energy shifts. They have certain meanings to me. So let's see what wants to come through the cards. We have discontent and boredom. Let me just get a couple more because the messages are already starting to come through. We have the waiting game. We have the solar plexus. The other thing I was asking about, because there are times I'm prompted to share this. When I go into meditation, I usually ask specific questions, first of all, for my journey, if I have any. If I don't, then I just kind of ask, what do I need to know? What do you have for me? I'll get to the solar plexus in a moment, but the sacral chakra, especially for myself, because I get a lot of energy that is geared towards, it's inspiring energy. My creative juices start to flow, and then it kind of piddles out, especially when I go onto my computer and try to start to design things, and it doesn't work for me. So it's like up and down, up and down. Like, why is that? Why can't I just execute something from beginning to completion? The first one for me was to slow down. There are certain things I'm missing, and there actually were certain things in a design project I was working on that I was forgetting to put in there. So slow it down. And there's this energy right now has me feeling like I'm on a lot of caffeine, and I'm not. I purposely don't even drink coffee anymore because of certain energies, especially when we have a lot of solar weather. So be mindful of that, because it can affect the cardiovascular and nervous system in the body big time when we get these big waves of energy from the sun. But anyway, it's linked to the sacral. The sacral chakra is our creative energy, our creative juices, our creation. It was very linked to the separation wounding that I'm still processing through my energy system. We all are. It can, our logical mind can go to certain people and experiences that are painful separations, but it goes deeper than that. But any kind of separation wound, separation pain, being separated from another, but from a loved one, it could be linked to death. Mine was certainly linked to death. There's still grief that is stored, and the sacral chakra is working through the grief. So we're still working through the grief process currently as well. Just want to point that one out. But a solar plexus, this is speaking of our self-confidence, feeling confident in ourselves. And here's that waiting game again, discontent and boredom and trapped in fear. Okay, well, this is just kind of spelling out the channeled messages that I got this morning. So many in the collective are kind of feeling stagnant, discontented with their current situation, bored with their current situation. You're feeling like you cannot push past a certain blockage, it's almost like Saturn's like, halt, wait. And that waiting game, that wait is so familiar and so painful that it's an important part of the stage, the steps. So, as I was saying, we definitely are not to wait around for another person, because that will slow down the process. We are collectively connected. So when some of us start to, and that does not mean that anybody is better than another. This is like popcorn in the microwave or wherever, popcorn popping. A few kernels start to pop, and then more start to pop, and then the whole bag begins popping all over. That's like our awakening process right now. So if you've popped, allow yourself to pop all the way open. The other kernels are going to pop. Now there will be some at the bottom of the bag that are not going to pop. They just aren't. So that's a great analogy for this. Thank you, guys. The popcorn analogy. Don't wait for another. Know that there is a catch up. There will be a catch up. But at the same time, if you're fixated on another person or another group or just other people and not your ascension, your growth, your expansion, that is still slowing down the process. So try not to get trapped in the waiting game. People will catch up. We're not meant to be alone here on earth. There is a period of time, we've had a few years of it, but it is coming to an end very quickly. As we're going through this ascension process, this elevation process, this expansion process, as the energy, the frequency and energy that we are currently living in is elevating and also, yes, okay. Well, okay, so this is speaking of the sacral solar plexus chakra, while in this energy is out of balance. So maybe most people still aren't feeling completely confident because this is the unknown. Thank you. The fear of the unknown at the bottom of the deck. Don't let the fear of the unknown stop you. This is the fun part. If you can turn it around in your mind to make this fun, kind of like before Christmas morning, or think of something where you're like, I don't know what's going to happen, as a kid, or I don't know what's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Get excited about it. Get your solar plexus back into balance. Being trapped in fear. Again, this has to do with how we are linked to everybody, and we truly are a species that needs to connect to each other, especially in groups. That is how we operate. This is how we also learn and grow together. But this fear of if I expand my mind and my life and I make this great change that my heart and soul is pulling me towards, there's a great fear that specific people, family and close friends are not going to, I'm going to lose connection with them. That is the fear currently in the collective. Those who are expanding, they're kind of holding back because they're afraid. Now, know this. I resonate with this so much, and I'm just reflecting back years ago on my journey when I went through this portion, and it is very scary, but it also became so painful for me to stay in the energy I was staying, for me to stay in the place I was staying, for me to not expand and actually show and express my great change I was going through, my great shift I was going through. I was very vocal about it. I was very expressive. I still am very expressive about it because it really woke me up in a huge way that I could not go back. You can't go back. But there was this great fear of like, my family's not going to understand me, my friends, I'm going to lose everybody. And I did spend, now it wasn't that long, but I did spend probably about 4 or 5 months in complete solitude, nobody around. Now I had a few people, and my son, and like people who were really close to me, come in and out, pop in and check on me, and we would do things here and there, but we weren't connected energetically because I was in some other realm and they're staying where they are, and I knew it. I knew that. They're like, where's mom going? She's like talking about the cosmos and all of these things all of a sudden, and I didn't care. I'm like, You got to understand, I'm going through a big change right now, and I'm having a lot of deep awareness right now, and I want you to understand I'm okay. Everything's going to be okay, but things are changing like crazy. Communicate what you're going through, and if people don't understand, they will. They'll catch up. Trust me, they will. Okay, let's keep going. All right, we're going to bust into, oh, no, okay. We're going to go, what are we going to? The Muse. Let's dive a little deeper into this one. Don't be surprised if somebody from your past comes back around and just surprises you. Now, this may be a test also, so be mindful of things. If you've been waiting around for somebody to come back around for a long time and suddenly they show up, but they're not ascended. Oh, that's so funny. But they're not ascended. They're in the same energy that they were before. But you've been waiting so long for them to even, like, maybe you've been ghosted. Maybe this person had ignored you for a long time, and now suddenly they're like, I want to talk. That's exciting. Yes, it's great. We can get more information, more clarity, more understanding. But at the same token, be mindful, be discerning. You want to feel this energy and go from your heart, not your head. If you're going to just go right back into some kind of friendship or relationship with somebody but there's no change, you're not feeling or sensing a change, you could find yourself repeating things again. This was just presenting itself. I'm going to shuffle anyway, but you can find yourself repeating the same cycle again, where you make a decision or choice based off of, like, well, I've been waiting around for years for this person to come back, and then finally came back. That's going to be another tower moment. Like, that's going to be great pain. So, but I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. That could be a test for some. Others, we'll shuffle and see. I feel like there are others who are going to be extremely shocked and surprised to see the great change and shift in others who may be coming back from the past. It could just be to communicate, to give more clarity, or to bring a resolve to some kind of conflict that there had been. That's very strong in this Libra energy right now. But let's dive in a little deeper. And that's another energy I've been feeling very strongly for the last few days. Last night was so strong. It was hard to sleep, but I was feeling people from my past. And I'm not even sure, because I get pulled into so many directions. A lot of times I do get a lot of telepathic messages from others that I've had deep connections with. Yeah. I still have not physically heard from them, but the Magician, that's alchemy, pure alchemy, manifestation. This speaks of the energy of, like, what we create our reality. We create our reality based off of our beliefs, our subconscious mind. Yes, our thoughts are included, but that's not a huge part of it, believe it or not. It is more about your energy field, what's in your heart, what's in the subconscious. What do you believe? That's also linked to the subconscious, our belief patterns. But we are creating, it's that ask, believe, receive. Feel it. And I've been feeling things a lot. Feel the energy. But this is also talking about using your imagination. That was another strong message I received last night for myself personally. To tap back into my creative element is to get back into my imagination. And I've been having a difficult time doing that as I'm processing grief and pain, because I've had a few events that went down for me over the course of the last month or so. And so just as I get elevated, I get dropped down a little bit more for another challenge. And that's sort of how the process goes. But it's also showing me deeper patterns, deeper things that I couldn't see, that I'm now aware of. But we're always creating from this energy. What do you believe? Ask yourself, what are my beliefs? Can I envision and feel? Can I get my imagination into something? See, one of the things that I'm also prompted to talk about with my journey is one of the things that I struggle with, and I do meditate on this, I talk to the guides about this often, based off of my childhood, because it's always based off of our childhood experiences, and then it expands from there on up into adulthood. We have the same experiences in different scenarios and different characters in different ways, but it's always the same feeling. I've had a hard time my whole life. Well, I want to say from age 10 up till even now, not as much now, but I'm very aware of it. I have a hard time getting completely excited and on board and envisioning something that I truly desire, because in my past, whenever I would have something like that be presented to me into my life, it would no sooner that I would have it and get to have that experience, it would get taken away from me. And the pain of that separation, the pain of that being taken away, so great that eventually I stopped even envisioning or imagining anything great happening in my life, because what's the point? It just gets taken away. Be mindful of those kinds of patterns, beliefs. That's a belief that I developed in childhood. What's the point? It always gets taken away. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm working on that one still too, but that is an inner child. That is my 10-year-old inner child talking to me, and I need to talk to her and reassure her, give her love and compassion. I understand why, and it's very valid that you feel that way right now. However, we want to get on board to having some new experiences here in life. We can't stay in that zone anymore. That is over. The past is the past. Learn from it. Let's move forward. Bring your inner child with you. That is our emotions. When we have like emotional outbursts or even internal emotional eruptions, that is our inner child screaming to be heard, to be felt, to be loved. Okay. All right. I have the chills all over. These are very strong messages for people. The waiting game. Yeah. Don't wait. Allow your go do your analyzing, do your investigation, get deeper understandings of yourself. Really, truly, as much wherever you're guided to. I was guided to astrology. I was guided to cards. I was guided to many specific, very specific books and spiritual teachers in the beginning of my journey that really assisted. And that's what I'm getting here. Any of you who are still stuck in the waiting game, get out of it. To get out of it is to learn more, expand your mind, expand your experience by gaining a deeper understanding of what is actually happening for you energetically here on the planet right now. Yeah. I will talk about this. Yes. Okay. Then we have the Empress energy. So again, similar to my solar or similar to my sacral chakra story of my own experience, where I'm trying to get my sacral chakra back into balance. After experiencing sexual abuse as a child and growing up, after experiencing a lot of things, of having things given to me and then taken away over and over again, it's brought my sacral chakra out of balance, so it affects my creativity, because I do have a very strong energy for creation. And in human design, I'm a manifesting generator, which I can go deeper into that too. But for anybody who knows human design, that it's important for me to be in alignment with my sacral for these creations. So I'm learning the patterns that were developed in childhood that are keeping me from expanding these aspects of my life. That's where we're at right now. It's like these deep realizations. But for the solar plexus, for this collective reading, about the self-confidence and the will and the drive to make great changes in our life, what had affected that? The Lovers and the Two of Cups. Again, talking about separation. This sounds like a twin flame reading, and most likely it is. But I'm going to expand it out to just anybody who has had a deep connection to another soul, deeply. This is somebody that has definitely is responsible for either your awakening or your expansion in life, and heart chakra opening. There's a separation there, and that has caused deep imbalance within the solar plexus, within our own self-confidence of ourselves, that needs to be looked at deeper and healed, so that this union can come back together. We're coming back together as a whole within ourselves, so that we can come back together on the physical, together, unity within people. Bottom of this deck is the Empress. The Empress energy, our feminine energy, not gender, energy, our receptive, intuitive, nurturing, mothering nature that we all possess within us. Whether you're a man or a woman, it's nurturing. I won't say mothering, but nurturing, caring, compassion, love, unity. The Empress is pregnant in most cards. She's not in this one. She has the cosmos coming out of her heart, out of her solar plexus. Get in touch with this energy that is within you. This will expand and propel the healing of this portion, because we are moving fast. Okay, below that, 3 of inspirations. We are moving fast now. Energy's moving so fast. In eclipse season, you can't make half of the stuff that's coming up. It's like, allow the pieces to fall into place. Try not to control and manipulate anything that you do or say. Full below that. And trust in this process. Belief and trust and faith in your higher self, in the journey, is so super important. Oh my gosh, you can't make it up. Queen of emotions, I could keep going below that. Emotional, secure, feeling secure and safe enough to express yourself emotionally and to give and receive, being open to receiving emotional support, being open to receiving love. I know that was another thing that I had struggled until my great awakening was a heart chakra awakening. It was a Kundalini awakening, but my heart chakra first wide open, and I realized I had never really experienced the sensation of true unconditional love until that moment, to that degree. Now, I am a mother, so I take that back instantly, I know. Yes, being a parent will give you that sensation, that feeling, that knowing, that knowledge. Yet, as individuals, we still have inner child wounds that we need to heal, that usually there's a unique connection that's designed for us, each and every one of us, to connect to another that has the ingredient that you need for your expansion. Let's just use it that way. So we'll pull from the wisdom of the House of Night to wrap this up for today. Don't be surprised. I mean, we're going to have a lot of surprises. Let's just say that. A lot of surprises in the next few weeks, but this weekend looks to be pretty interesting. Hey, I thought I saw one upside down. Yep. Conclusion. There will be a conclusion to your situation, and that's where it is, bringing people in from the past where there had been no resolve or no understanding, or maybe misunderstandings. This is where listening is key. Don't think that you're right. You don't need to be right. This is the universe giving you an opportunity to gain greater understanding of what is actually happening below the surface and above the surface. As above, so below. Hope. Speaks so loudly to me. Just with the situation I was talking about, like, it's been really hard to get into my imagination, and it's because I gave up hope. I gave up hope on certain things, certain people. I even gave up hope on YouTube, but guess what? I'm back, giving it another try. So don't give up. Hold that hope for your dreams and desires, but focus on, stay in your lane and focus on your expansion, your growth, your journey, and allow the universe to bring to you what is meant for you. Let's see if anything else wants to come out before I wrap this, before we end this. And if you like this video, please click the like button. That helps us content creators out a lot with the algorithms here on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe as well. All right. We have success came out again. Success wanted to come out because your journey is always good. And make that your mantra. This will be a success. This will be a success. Letting go. But first we got to let go. We got to let go of the pain, let go of the past. And you know what that means. We got to go through it. If there's any residual leftover pain, the universe is going to be triggering that out of us through eclipse season, assisting us in letting go of the past, letting go of pain, of things that block us and hold us hostage, so that we can move into the next chapter in our lives together. So those are the messages for everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Take care. Bye.